Welcome to Virtual Coffee with Dawn Rickabaugh, the Note Queen, where we talk about owner financing and notes. Financial solutions, one mom and pop to another.
You just have to know how to put those deals together, and you gotta, what you need, to me, I keep telling people all the time, if you wanna, what the lowest hanging fruit for getting involved in the note business is just to develop capital partners. The end. So even if, let's say you're just getting started and you want to know how to create passive income out of thin air, and you've invested enough that you know how to speak the lingo, you've created some connections. And so what if you come to me and say, Don, just sell me a note. I'll be willing to take 7%. And I go, well, I have any number of opportunities for you. If you're willing to take 7%, I can get your money to work right now. And they're going, great, because they have money. They have a financial partner who's they're sick and tired of making 1 or 2% in the bank. You go, gosh, if you could get me 5%, 4 or 5%, I'd be happy all day long. So they're only getting 7% for me, but they're only having to pay their partner 4 or 5%. So they've got that arbitrage going. So they've got a 2-3 point spread. And that just means that out of every $1,000 payment, maybe they get to keep $70 of it. And that's passive income out of thin air. Depends on, does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm writing.
The most valuable thing you can do is create money partners that aren't in this space going, like Ed needs 14%, and I need a higher than average. That's why I always try to get regular people to be my lenders, because you ask them, what's the best investment you have? And they might say, oh, I've got an annuity paying me 4%. Great. So if I can pay you 4%, would you be willing to carry for me? Oh, okay, that makes sense, because I'm giving them the best they can do out there in the conventional world. So that time to cultivate people from the ground up that have never been in this space is the most valuable thing you can do. Because if you can get money at 4, 5, 6%, you can get right now making passive income out of thin air without any of your own money, but your time. You have to create relationships. You have to, educate yourself a little bit so sound like you know what you're talking about. And it's not a bad idea to invest a little bit of your own money, because then you have stories to tell other people, and then they know that you have some skin in the game too. Where I did a deal where it was a little outside of the norm, and it was let's say it's $100,000 loan. Well, I might only borrow $95,000 from someone else, but then I'll put in $5,000. So if someone knows that I got something to lose, and plus I'll be the first line of starting foreclosure and doing all that bit, but, so does that make sense? So
I think that's what I think you hit it. What I'm missing are those money partners, because I'm going about this wrong. I'm going to the bank to get part of my loans on these deals.
Yeah.
And it's worked, but it would be the joint ventures and the money partners. Right. I can be utilizing a lot better than I am.
And you will be doing a service to those people. It's not like it's just for you. Look, okay, I'm sure the bank is happy to make your interest, but think of how many mom and pop people are going to be devastated if their retirement account or their pensions or their stock market or whatever, if those take a big hit, there's going to be a lot of people scrambling of how do they make it.
Yeah.
Until we transition into a fully a really beautiful version of our culture, I think is going to come out as new technologies get released, and there's not all this suppression of all the good things, for humanity. But in the meantime, a lot of mom and pops are not going to know what to do. So think of yourself as sort of there's some self-serving there, but actually you gotta just pretend like you're a missionary, Yeah. But aren't you Mormon?
I am.
Yeah, I am. So you know all about feeding the missionaries and being
That's right. I've got one out there, so I get it.
No, so just really it's a service, and that's why I keep hounding Go out there and create financial solutions, just one mom and pop to another, because look, maybe it's not sexy. Maybe you can't do 1 million or 5 million at a time. Who cares? Just steadily be someone in your community that can put a deal together, and then you can bring other mom and pop money. So then we cut Wall Street out of it. You know, the wealth vampires of Washington and Wall Street, we need to cut them out of it and just make deals mom and pop. So you got to be able to know what you're doing. Obviously you're doing well, so you know the business. That is so valuable. You know how to make money. A lot of people don't, or they don't want to. They have something else that they're doing, but they're gonna need something solid at 4 or 5, 6% that isn't super high risk.
You've been listening to Virtual Coffee with Dawn Rickabaugh. For more, please visit notequeen.com.